So right now, when you get a new pair of pointe shoes, obviously they're not marked right and left, and there really is no technical right and left. But I've found that in each pair of shoes, there is a right and left, or sometimes they'll accidentally give you 2 rights or 2 lefts, or it's not technically made that way, but it just feels like a right or a left. That may change person by person too. If somebody else put this pair of brand new shoes on, they might think the opposite. So it really depends on the person's foot as well. But I mark my shoes so that when I'm putting them on, I know which is my right and left. So this is a brand new pair of shoes. As you can see, they are not marked. But I think this one's going to end up being right and that one's going to end up being left. But just because in a single pair, they're right and left doesn't mean that I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this one right, and I just put an R here, about there. That way y'all know that that's right. And then I'll take them off and try on the next pair of shoes. So right now, that's a pair of shoes.
Now, do you want to say why we have so many pairs of the same shoe?
Yeah, I go through, and each of these are the exact same shoe.
What are they? Let's see the label. Move your hand.
I go through pointe shoes really, really fast, like within a month or 2. Usually in summer it's about a month. In winter, depending on how much I'm dancing, but it can be anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months usually. I usually don't get any more than 2 months out of them. It's just because I'm dancing so much on pointe that the sweat and stuff just breaks it down. So that's why I have so many different pairs of shoes. So these have a little gel tip on the inside, which if you've watched some of the other 2 videos that we've done recently, you would know that, so I'm not really going to worry about it too much. But sometimes it's supposed to be flat on your foot like that, but these have a fairly wide platform, that part, so sometimes they're a little bit shifted over more that way or more that way. So that's the first thing that I look at to determine if it's going to be a right or a left. This one is shoved a little bit more over that way, so I'm going to say that this is a right now, just on first glance. And this is a left.
And what makes you say that's a left?
Same reason that I said the other one was a right.
Because the little foam pad is shifted over towards
Yeah.
your pinky toe?
Yeah, so that's, no, towards my big toe.
Towards your big toe, for your left foot.
Yes.
Okay.
Whichever one is shoved towards the big toe side, that's the one that I'm going to put it on. So that does not mean absolutely that that's going to be the right and the left. That's just the first thing that I look at with these shoes. Because all the shoes from Block that I've ever had have the little pad thing. Not all of them do. Just the ones that I've had. So then I go up on pointe, and I'm not going to be able to get all the way over because they're totally not broken in. The box has to be broken in for that. So there's about all the way over pointe. I can't get there because it's not broken in at all. So I'll usually push over a little bit. Like, as you can see, the bottom of the platform is off the floor. So I'll push over, see what that feels like. It just feels like, are these supportive enough are these supportive on my right foot? If so, then it's probably a right. If not, then maybe it's a left. So the left one's really supportive the way that I need it to be. The right one feels a little bit weird. So this is going to be a left for that pair. So now I'm going to try this on my left foot and see if that works better. If not, it could just be I need to break in the box a different way. And for this, just so that I have another shoe, I'm going to put on the right shoe of this one that we know is a right. Okay. Yeah. See, so this one feels more like a left than a right. So these are both left shoes.
And they both came in the same bag.
They did both come in the same bag, yeah. So I'm gonna open another pair. Put that one over there.
So we have, what, so far? 2 lefts and 2 rights? It looks like?
3 lefts and a right.
3 lefts.
Because those 2 are left, that's a left, and that's a right. Which
Oh.
I'm thinking I'm going to keep that as a pair. So.
Oh, okay. I see. Now, when you do this, you put on anything that you would normally put on your feet before you wear a shoe to dance.
Yeah. So for
you've
me,
got,
that would be just my spacer, right there, my spacer, and which moved, and my pro pad.
and
now,
it's also very important to have those on when you go to buy a new pair of shoes.
Yes, when you're being fitted for them. I did not get fitted for these because I've been wearing these shoes for a while and they work for me. So I just kind of know now that
And how often do
this particular size and stuff works for me.
How often do you usually get fitted?
It depends. When I feel right now, because I found the shoe that works for me best. Right now, not until my feet change. Previously to that, when I was still working out like what my shoe was going to be, I would get fitted when I felt I needed to.
Which was pretty much whenever your shoe died, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was like, all right, this isn't the right shoe for me, so I need to go try something else.
Okay.
So this one is in the middle, so I'm just going to put it on my right foot because it really doesn't matter. This one's going to, and this one's going to be entirely in the box. What does it feel like? Because the pad is in the middle.
And you do not pull your drawstrings to figure this out, right?
I do not. You can. It doesn't really matter. I just don't.
I will say, as the person who sews the shoes, I prefer her not to pull the drawstrings before I get the heel elastic and the ribbons on. It just, because when you pull, with this particular brand of shoe, when you pull the drawstring, it pleats the top edge of the shoe, and it makes it a whole lot more difficult to get a nice clean sewing line for both of those things, the elastic and the ribbons. Tough decision?
No, I'm going over more. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I'm gonna switch these two because it feels like a right and a left, but I'm going over way too far, so I'm gonna see if it's more supportive as a left than a right, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be going over the box when I'm dancing, and these are brand new shoes. So when my foot is straight and I am going like over the box, that is not a good sign. So I'm gonna switch these. And some shoes are ambidextrous, like it really doesn't matter, so it's just pick one. They feel good as both a right and a left. Which is really weird, and I've only had that like a couple of times, but oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I definitely like this. This is a right and a left better. Okay. Standing on the drawstring. Yeah, make sure that you're not standing on the drawstring. You'll probably be able to tell if you are, but make sure that you're not. Because that changes the feel of the shoe a little bit. Okay, yeah. So this is going to be the right shoe for these.
The official designation.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the last pair that we have?
Yes, the last pair that I have, but don't turn off the camera because I might like switch them around and stuff like that too. You
Okay.
know how I do that, so. Okay, so again, for this one, it's just in the middle, so that's going to depend on the box. But this one, as far as the little cushion goes, it's a left. So.
Now, what would you do if you ended up with too many lefts or rights?
I've never had that problem before. I cross the bridge when I come to it.
Okay.
If it's based solely off of the pad, then I have these little extra cushions that I put in them, and I just kind of put it like in the corner a little bit, and it's like an extra little cushion so that it doesn't hurt my feet. They're also gel. They're really squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Squishy. This one as a right, so I'm just gonna put that to the side for a minute. I'm gonna see if that's a right too. It's just the thing is wrong because it feels like a little bit different, and it's very hard to describe like what it would feel like as so that you know, because that's really completely personalized to each individual person. That's no two people are gonna feel the exact same thing when they go in the shoe.
So right now for your left foot, you're putting on a shoe that we already designated as a left.
Yes. And I'm just seeing if this is more of a right shoe or a left. Because this is a right shoe. Yeah, see, I like this as more of a right shoe too. Which it would just take a little bit of breaking in, but so both of these are rights. Okay, so for right this second, I'm just gonna do like that and like that. Now, I'm going to try on each pair of shoes and see if it would work better with a different shoe. So how I just switched these pairs to be, they weren't the original pairs that came out of the boxes, I switched them. I do a lot of that just to find like the right exact best fit for this shoe feels like it should be paired with that shoe. There's really no other way to describe it. It's literally just, it feels like it should be paired together.
Okay.
like a pair to me. Pairs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch back the right shoes and see how that feels.
So this is a very involved process for you.
Yes, probably not for everyone, but for me, because I need to make sure that I choose just the right shoes to go with the right shoes and just the right ones to be rights and lefts, because that's going to improve my dancing. If you just have like any old pair of pointe shoes and you're like, all right, let's just randomly mark this one right and that one left, it's fine.
Stuff only experienced dancers would know.
Yeah, it's probably not going to work as well for you as it is if you bought, say, even just 2 pairs, just 2 pairs, and then you figured out which one felt like a right and which one felt like a left, and then switch them around if you needed to. Oh yeah, these 2 definitely go together more. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just gonna try these on just to make doubly sure, but I'm thinking this is how it's gonna be. It's like you can tell even on flat too. Make sure that you can tell on flat. Which usually I can just like stand up and tell kind of how they feel. So then I spend most of the time telling what they feel like on pointe, but not necessarily, For some people they might need to spend a little bit of time on demi, or they might need to spend more time on flat. Also, don't do this when you're buying pairs of shoes. You will break them in ever so slightly and people will be mad at you if you don't end up buying them. Wait until you bought them and then you come home and do this. Yeah. So this is going to be a pair and then that's going to be a pair.
All right.